Well, we're back with another story, and today we're reading a fairy tale called Go and the Five Flirty Emmagillikins. Always starting with a questionable title. This is gonna be weird. Once upon a time, there was a gorgeous boy called Go. He was on the way to see his friend and research. I'm really bad reading things. He was on his way to see his friend and research fellow Ash Ketchum when he decided to take a shortcut through possessed Emma Woods. That doesn't sound like somewhere you should be going. Go. Never mind. It wasn't long before Go got lost. He looked around, but all he could see were trees. Nervously, he felt into his bag for his favorite toy. Cinderace is a toy. But Cinderace was nowhere to be found. Go began to panic. Felt sure he had packed Cinderace. So he can go said he was sure he packed Cinderace in like a bag or something. I don't think he'll fit in a bag. To make matters worse, he was starting to feel hungry. Unexpectedly, he saw Flirty Emma, dressed in a bad, extremely girly dress, disappearing into the trees. How odd, thought Go. What? For the want of anything better to do, he decided to follow the peculiarly dressed Emmagillikin. Why is it? Perhaps it could tell him the way out of the forest. I don't think it's saying I'm like a person. It's saying like I'm like the animal or something. Eventually Go reached a clearing. He found himself surrounded by houses made from different sorts of food. There was a house made from Emma snot, a house made from burgers, a house made from apples, a house made from crackers, a house made from carrots, and a house made from steak. It's all real food. It said it's food. But one of them is my snot. Go could feel his tummy rumbling. Looking at the houses did nothing to ease his hunger. "Hello," he called. "Is anybody there?" Nobody replied. Go looked at the roof of the closest house and wondered if it would be rude to eat somebody else's chimney. I think that is a little rude, Go. Obviously, it would be impolite to eat a whole house. When did Go get the stomachs to eat a whole house? It's something Satoshi would do, not Go. But perhaps it would be considered acceptable to nibble the odd fixture or lick the odd fitting in a time of need. What am I reading? A cackle broke through the air, giving Go a fright. A witch jumped into the space in front of the houses. She was carrying a cage, and that cage was Cinderace. "Cinderace!" shouted Go. He turned to the... That's my toy. When was Cinderace ever a toy? The witch just... Maybe this is teaching Go that maybe the moral of this is going to be that Cinderace isn't a toy. Give Cinderace back, cried Go. That's a new Nelly. What does Nelly mean? Said the witch. At least let Cinderace out of that cage. Before she could reply, 5 flirty McGillicans rushed in from a footpath on the other side of the clearing. Go recognized the one in the bad, extremely girly dress that he'd seen earlier. The witch seemed to recognize him too. Hello, Big Emma Gillikin, said the witch. What is happening? Good morning, Good morning. The Emma Gillikin noticed Cinderace. Who is this? That's Cinderace, explained the witch. Ooh, Cinderace would look lovely in my house. Give it to me. I don't think they know Cinderace is alive. I feel like they killed Cinderace, even though it's a fully evolved Pokemon who is fairly powerful. But somehow they killed it. They're like, and now Go has it as his toy, and like people are saying that dead Cinderace would look lovely in my house. Give it to me, demanded the Emma Gillikin. The witch shook her head. Cinderace is staying with me. Excuse me, Go interrupted. Cinderace lives with me, and not in a cage. Big Emma Gillikin ignored him. Is there nothing you'll trade? He asked the witch. The witch thought for a moment, then said, I do like to be entertained. I'll release him to anybody who can eat a whole front door. Big Emma Gillikin looked at the house made from steak and said, no problem. I could eat an entire house made from snake. I keep saying snake. From steak if I wanted to. That's nothing, said the next Emma Gillikin. I could eat 2 houses. There's no need to show off, said the witch. Just eat one front door and I'll let you have Cinderace. Go watched, feeling very worried. He didn't want the witch to give Cinderace to Big Emma Gillikin. He didn't think Cinderace would like living with a flirty Emma Gillikin away from his house and all his other toys. The other 4 Emma Gillikins watched while Big Emma Gillikin put on his bib. I'm a woman! And withdrew a knife and fork from his pocket. I'm a woman! I'll eat this whole house, said Big Emma Gillikin. Just you watch. Big Emma Gillikin pulled off a corner of the front door of the house made from burgers. He gulped it down, smiling, and went back for more, and more, and more. Eventually, Big Emma Gillikin started to get even bigger. Just a little bit bigger at first. The few more forkfuls of burgers, he grew to the size of a large snowball, and he was every bit as round. I don't feel so good, said Big Emma Gillikin. Suddenly, he started to roll. He'd grown so round that he could no longer balance. Help, he cried, as he rolled down a slope into the forest. Big Emma Gillikin never finished eating the front door, made from burgers, and Cinderace remained trapped in the witch's cage. Average Emma Gillikin stepped up. That's technically me, right? Average Emma Gillikin. And approached the house made from apples. You know, I do like some apples. After I finish making this video, I might want an apple. I'll eat this whole house, said average Emma Gillikin. Just you watch. Average Emma Gillikin pulled off a corner of the front door of the house made from apples. She gulped it down smiling and went back for more and more and more. After a while, average Emma Gillikin started to look a little queasy. She grew greener and greener. A woodcutter walked into the clearing. "What's this bush doing here?" he asked. "I'm not a bush. I'm an Emma Gillikin," said average Emma Gillikin. "It talks," exclaimed the woodcutter. "Those talking bushes are the worst kind." I feel like this is Satoshi, not a random woodcutter. "I'd better take it away before someone gets hurt." "No, wait," cried average Emma Gillikin as the woodcutter picked her up. But the woodcutter ignored her cries, carried the Emma Gillikin away under his arm. I thought it was really large. Maybe not. Average Emma Gillikin never finished eating the front door made from apples, and Cinderace remained trapped. What? I went back. Okay. So, average Emma Gillikin never finished eating the front door made from apples, and Cinderace remained trapped in the witch's cage. Little Emma Gillikin stepped up and approached the house made from crackers. Goldfish crackers, because I wouldn't eat steak, though. "I'll eat this whole house," said little Emma Gillikin. "Just you watch." Little Emma Gillikin pulled off a corner of the front. Like, have these Emma Gillikins not learned their lesson? He gulped it down smiling and went back for more and more and more. After 5 or 6 platefuls, little Emma Gillikin started to fidget uncomfortably on the spot. Stopped eating crackers for a moment, then grabbed another forkful. But before he could eat it, there came an almighty roar. A bottom burp, louder than a rocket taking off, propelled little Emma Gillikin into the sky. Wait. What's a bottom burp? "Arr!" cried little Emma Gillikin. "I'm scared of Little Emma Gillikin was never seen again. It looks like little Emma Gillikin is blasting off again. Sorry, I probably didn't hear that. Little Emma Gillikin never finished eating the front door made from crackers, and Cinderace remained trapped in the witch's cage. Tiny Emma Gillikin stepped up and approached the house made from carrots. "I'll eat this whole house," said Tiny Emma Gillikin. "Go, isn't the last one made of my snot? Why aren't you taking action? You'll have to eat the one made from my snot after this." Tiny Emma Gillikin pulled off a corner of the... No. Okay, I get it. However, on the next mouthful, the food fell straight out of Tiny Emma Gillikin's mouth. She tried to stuff in another forkful of carrots, but once again, the food fell out. There just wasn't enough room left in her belly. That is very true. This is just not fair, declared Tiny Emma Gillikin, and stomped off into the forest. Tiny Emma Gillikin never finished eating. The front door, made from carrots, and Cinderace remained trapped in the witch's cage. Go, you still have a chance. Go. No. You'll have to eat the one made of snot. Even tinier Emma Gillikin stepped up and approached the house made from steak. I'll eat this whole house, said even tinier Emma Gillikin. Just you watch. Okay, I get it now. Suddenly, even tinier Emma Gillikin stopped eating and started dancing to Barbie music and the Pokemon Journey's theme song. While he danced, he sang at the top of his lungs, "Steak, watch me eat all the steak." Tiny Emma Gillikin, even tinier Emma Gillikin is the worst at singing, because its lungs aren't very good. It looks as though the steak are making you hyperactive, laughed the witch. Oh no, they're not, cried even tinier Emma Gillikin. I'm always this excited. That he walked into a tree. Bong. I think the steak had drugs in it. Even tinier Emma Gillikin banged his head and fell backwards onto his bottom, passed out, exhausted. Even tinier Emma Gillikin. That's it, said the witch. I win. I get to keep Cinderace. Not so fast, said Go. There is still one front door to go. Really, me? The front door of the house made from Emma snot, and I haven't had a turn yet. I don't have to give you a turn, laughed the witch. My game, my rules. Please say Go doesn't eat the house made of my snot. The woodcutter's voice carried through the forest. I think you should give him a chance. It's only fair. Fine, said the witch, but you saw what happened to the Emma Gillikins. He won't last long. I'll be right back. I'll be right back, said Go. What? Said the witch. Oh my goodness. I don't think Go is gonna eat the house made of my snot. Please say he doesn't eat that. It's disgusting. What? Said the witch. Where's your sense of impatience? I thought you wanted Cinderace back. Go ignored the witch and gathered a hefty pile of sticks. He came back to the clearing and started a small campfire. Why? Are you gonna cook my snot and then eat it? Carefully, he broke off a piece of the door of the house made from Emma snot and toasted it over the fire. No. Once it had cooked and cooled just a little, he took a bite. He quickly devoured the whole piece. I'm disgusted, Go. Go sat down on a nearby log. You fail, crackled the witch. You were supposed to eat the whole door. I haven't finished, explained Go. I'm just waiting for my food to go down. When Go's food had digested, he broke off another piece of the door made from Emma snot. Once more, he toasted his food over the fire and waited it to Eventually, after several sittings, Go was down to the final piece of the door made from Emma snot. Carefully, he toasted it and allowed it. He finished his final course and disgustingly had eaten the entire front door of the house made from Emma snot. The witch stamped her foot angrily. "You must have tricked me," she said. "I don't reward cheating." "I don't think so," said a voice. It was the woodcutter. He walked back into the clearing carrying his axe. "This little boy won fair and square. Now hand over Cinderace, or I will chop your broom in half." The witch looked horrified. She grabbed her broomstick and placed it behind her. Then, huffing, she opened the door of the cage. Go hurried over and grabbed Cinderace, checking that his favorite toy was all right. Go, Cinderace isn't a toy. Cinderace was unharmed. Isn't it an alive, like fully evolved Pokemon? Go thanked the woodcutter, grabbed a quick souvenir. What was the souvenir? More Emma snot? And hurried on to meet Ash. It was getting dark. When got to Ash's house, his friend and research fellow threw his arms around him. "I was so worried," cried Ash. "You are very late." I feel like they got the characters mixed up. Because Ash is the one who would have been late and would have eaten the whole entire house. Also the one that's made of snot, but I think they got the characters mixed up. As Go described his day, he could tell that Ash didn't believe him, so he grabbed a napkin from his pocket. Wait, so that's the souvenir? "What's that?" asked Ash. Go unwrapped a doorknob made from burgers. "Pudding," he said. Ash almost fell off his chair. The end. What did I just read? Well, that was the fairy tale titled Go and the 5 Flirty Emma Gillikins. Goodbye.